Greetings, mere mortals, and welcome to the final day of Monster Month.
And we're going out with a bang as we'll be talking about a hiss. But not just any hiss, no, I mean the king of hisses.
Yeah, okay, you all saw the thumbnail, so you know this isn't gonna be about that tank.
So meet King Hiss. This figure was released in 2022 with a lot of body parts. And I do mean a lot.
I'll explain later.
This was a deluxe figure from the Masters of the Universe Origins line. Figures from this line were made to closely resemble the toys from the original He-Man from the 80s, but with added perks, mostly in the articulation department.
And that's a good thing.
Because, yes, Masters of the Universe was a very cool thing back in the day, but the figures could have used more joints. Then again, you can say that for most action figures of that era, hi Star Wars, except for G.I.Joe.
Anyway, on to the figure itself.
And the first thing we've got to talk about is the head. There's that 1,000-yard stare that either tells you this guy is a robot or that he's seen some, stuff. The main thing, though...
Well, there's no other way to say this.
His head looks like a dick. This guy's a dickhead. Not since the live-action Last Airbender movie has this been more the case. The rest of the body is the standard He-Man shape, though with a lot, and I mean a lot of scaly detailing instead of the traditional muscles. He's got a nice snake symbol on his chest too. I do like the look of this figure, though it does have the vibes of a 70s Doctor Who villain.
His accessories are a mixed bag.
The snake staff is nice, though not unique to the figure, but the shield is really lame. It just looks really cheap. It would have helped a lot if they had painted the snake molded on the front. Now, I mentioned the 1,000-yard stare, but is there a reason for that? And also, is there a reason why the chest feels rubbery and can even be pressed inward?
Why, yes, there is.
Because this guy is more than meets the eye, and it's also the reason why I picked him for a G.I. Joe Monster Month. You see, the chest is actually armor of sorts, and it's removable. To do that, you do have to take off the head, but that's something you'd need to do anyway for the transformation. Doing this reveals a whole bunch of yellow snake parts. Of course, this does make him look rather, incomplete.
But that's okay, because I've strategically forgotten to tell you there are 3 more accessories.
Namely, 2 snake arms and a snake head. Yeah, the arms are removable, just like the head. This is actually standard with most Origins figures, making this easy for customizers. Put it all together and you've got a bunch of snakes acting as one dude.
So he's almost literally 2 kids in a trench coat.
This form does have the drawback that he can't hold any weapons, but the snake head is a pretty terrifying weapon itself, so that's okay. The other drawback is that the snake arms don't have any articulation. They could have made them bendable for added fun. Also, he doesn't look all that intimidating. More goofy, really, and less bulky. But you can change that by putting his shirt back on.
Anyway,
This form is why he's the subject of this video. Wouldn't he make a great, Cobra attempt number 23 at making a new Serpentor? A Cobra leader that's an actual collection of snakes? Beats Cobra Commander, who only turned into one snake at any rate. The only problem is that these figures are just a little too short to fit in with the classified line, but they're obviously too large for the regular toy line.
We can think our way around that problem, though.
I mean, why wouldn't Dr. Mindbender create a behemoth to rule Cobra? One that towered over his enemies and no man can match in battle! Except Hank, obviously. So I think it would work. As far as the Masters of the Universe character goes,
I will be brief.
King Hiss, as the name implies, is the king of the Snake Men, a fourth faction in the He-Man universe. He and his men were banished from Eternia many years ago, but returned to take their revenge. One interesting retcon is that Snake Mountain, Skeletor's base, was originally the Snake Men's headquarters before they were defeated. Which makes sense, since Skeletor doesn't really have a snake motif to any of his stuff otherwise. He must have been all like, hey, free evil lair, I'll take it. And that was King Hiss, the king of hisses who would make a good Cobra Emperor in any fan's mind palace.
Now do yourself a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Well, that's the end of Monster Month for another year. It's time for this ghoul to go slumber. Happy Halloween,